So there's actually one of the fastest growing industries in the nutritional intrinsic value bar market, which is different than, say, the granola bar or cereal bar market, is the sourcing or the story behind it. And people want to know where their food comes from, and if it's local, if it has all the health claims and all that those things like that. And I think really our story is a story that, at least at this point, we've only been in market for 2-3 weeks now, but it's a story that's really resonated with customers. They really appreciate what we're trying to do with economic development, and of course they love the bar. I wish I had samples here for you guys, because if you try the bar, you'd understand why we charge us $3.
Okay, I'm going to go to the farmer's market.
All right.
Get the name of the cafe.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. So all of our videos so far, we source all of our videos by working in partnership with local journalists to get the most authentic perspective. So for example, we're covering a series on the opioid epidemic in the States. So we work with journalists in San Francisco, rural Pennsylvania, and in West Chicago to discuss how opioids have affected each of their communities very differently, because without a doubt it affects different cities and towns in so many different ways. And we covered a series on the Venezuelan political crisis, working with a few young journalists there who are living through the issues themselves. And so we're partnering with people that have the most understanding on the issue, rather than us coming in with our understanding of what a government should look like or something like that. We work with them to empower them to share their stories, because they're the voices who really ought to be heard in the media space that often aren't being heard. And additionally, we're growing out our platform to also be a user-generated news source, so a place where you can both consume premium news content and add your voice to the stories. That's something that we're building out right now, so that it's a place for you to both consume and participate in the news, and have features where you can organize around shared experiences and kind of build a community with one another. And then another thing that we're building out currently is using artificial intelligence to gather information from the video stories that we publish, because we realize that we're collecting so much information by having so many different video interviews on a lot of different stories, and this is still a concept that we're fleshing out exactly. But if we can use AI to be able to gather valuable information, for example on a story on the Rohingya refugee crisis that we're covering, and find out where that information can be valuable either to nonprofits or governments, and in ways that we can add that to the research that's already being collected, so that we can take what we're learning in the way that we publish and build awareness on these types of social issues, but also use the information that we gather to create solutions, to make sure that the solutions that we vote on and create benefit the people that are actually affected by these issues.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a bunch of safety apps out there, and they all sort of do one thing, which is they all basically do one thing when you sort of push this button that they have or something like that. So one of them will automatically text emergency contacts, but they won't integrate with law enforcement. They won't start reporting. They won't do any of these other things. Another one will automatically call law enforcement, but won't send anything to emergency contacts or start reporting, that sort of thing, right? They all do one thing well. So one of the things that we do is we have this multi-layered approach, so we do everything at the same time to give you the best chance in those situations. It's all customizable too, right? Not everyone wants law enforcement, not everyone wants audio video. It's all up to the user. So that's one piece of it. Another piece is another big piece is the artificial intelligence that we have, so you don't have to be at the ready, just ready to push this button. You can be in your pocket, you can be on Facebook, it doesn't matter. And then another big piece is the way that we actually integrate with law enforcement is very unique and allows us to really reduce our operating expenses to virtually zero OPEX, which is why for the first time in the security industry, we're the first people who can actually provide a solution that integrates with law enforcement for free. So we're able to put this out there for free. And as you know, with almost all business models, once you can do it for free, it's very hard to compete with you. And we've seen this time and time again with like Google and a bunch of other spaces.